Parasitic lifestyle. Living off others by exploiting their resources, whether financial, emotional, or physical, without offering anything in return. Relationships are maintained purely for what can be extracted from them, with no intention of contributing or reciprocating. Manipulation and deceit are often used to secure ongoing support, treating people as resources rather than individuals. Pathological need for control. An obsessive drive to dominate and control situations and people, often through manipulation, coercion, or threats. There is a deep-seated need to ensure that everything aligns with their desires, regardless of the impact on others. Trust in others is minimal, leading to a constant effort to maintain dominance and control in every aspect of life. Promiscuous sexual behavior. Engaging in frequent casual sexual encounters driven by a need for power, control, or immediate satisfaction rather than emotional connection. These interactions are often impulsive, with little regard for the impact on others involved. Such behavior is characterized by a lack of commitment and emotional detachment. Enjoying others' misfortunes, deriving pleasure from the suffering or difficulties of others, often viewing their struggles as a source of amusement. This behavior indicates a profound lack of empathy, where another person's pain becomes a form of entertainment. Such enjoyment of others' misfortunes highlights a cruel and sadistic tendency, revealing a deep-seated indifference to the well-being of others. Lack of fear or anxiety. Sociopaths often display a striking absence of fear or anxiety in situations where others would naturally feel these emotions. This lack of emotional response can lead them to engage in reckless or risky behaviors without concern for their own safety. Their fearless demeanor often masks a disregard for potential consequences. Manipulative behavior. This involves using deceit, charm, or coercion to control and influence others for personal gain. Weaknesses and vulnerabilities in others are identified and exploited, with actions carefully tailored to achieve specific outcomes. The manipulation is often subtle, making it difficult for others to recognize the control being exerted. Chronic lying. Lies are told frequently and effortlessly, even when the truth would suffice, to maintain control or create a desired reality. Fabrications can range from small exaggerations to elaborate falsehoods, serving to deceive or mislead others. This habitual dishonesty is used to manipulate perceptions and avoid accountability. Lack of empathy. There is a fundamental inability to understand or care about the emotions and needs of others, leading to cold and detached interactions. Exploitation and harm are carried out without guilt or remorse, as others are viewed as mere tools or obstacles. Emotional responses are often feigned or shallow, lacking genuine concern for others. This detachment allows for calculated manipulation, with no internal barriers to prevent harmful behavior. Impulsivity. Decisions are made on the spur of the moment, driven by immediate desires without considering the consequences. This impulsiveness can lead to reckless actions, such as irresponsible spending, risky behaviors, or abrupt changes in plans. The focus is on satisfying present needs, with little regard for the long-term impact. Superficial charm. An engaging and confident demeanor is used to win over others, often masking true intentions. This charm is usually insincere, designed to manipulate and gain trust quickly. Beneath the surface, there is little emotional depth, with charm serving primarily as a means to achieve specific goals. Gaslighting. Engaging in a systematic effort to distort someone's perception of reality by persistently lying, denying, or contradicting their experiences. This manipulation leads the victim to question their own memories, thoughts, and perceptions. The goal is to make the victim doubt their own sanity, becoming increasingly dependent on the manipulator for what is perceived as reality. Inability to form genuine relationships. Maintaining relationships that are superficial and based on self-interest rather than mutual affection or understanding. Interactions are designed to serve personal goals, with any displays of intimacy or care being insincere and manipulative. Relationships are often exploited for gain, with no real emotional investment. These connections are typically short-lived, as the lack of genuine engagement eventually leads to conflict or detachment. Irresponsibility. Regularly neglecting obligations and duties, whether in personal, professional, or social contexts. Commitments are frequently disregarded, with promises broken and reckless behavior exhibited. There is a consistent pattern of avoiding responsibility and ignoring the consequences of actions. Aggressive or violent tendencies. displaying sudden and intense outbursts of anger or aggression, often in response to minor provocations or perceived slights. This aggression can be both verbal and physical, used as a means of intimidation or domination. The behavior is erratic, with aggression surfacing unpredictably. No remorse or guilt, engaging in harmful or unethical actions with a complete lack of emotional response, such as guilt or remorse. Even when causing significant harm, there is no internal conflict or sense of wrongdoing. Harmful behaviors are often rationalized or dismissed, showing a deep detachment from the moral implications of their actions. Exploitation of others. Viewing people as tools or means to achieve personal goals, often by taking advantage of their vulnerabilities. Whether through emotional, financial, or social manipulation, others are used to fulfill selfish needs. This behavior is calculated and lacks any genuine concern for the well-being of those being exploited. Arrogance. Exhibiting a strong sense of superiority and entitlement, believing oneself to be above others. Disdain for rules and social norms is common, as there is a belief that these do not apply to them. This attitude is often accompanied by a dismissive approach to those perceived as inferior, with little to no humility. Blaming others for their problems. Responsibility is consistently deflected, with situations manipulated to cast others as the source of mistakes or failures. Instead of accepting their own role in issues, they construct narratives where they are the victim, and those around them are to blame. This behavior is deeply ingrained, ensuring that personal accountability is avoided and the focus is always shifted away from their own shortcomings. Deception for pleasure or profit. Lying and deceiving not only to gain material or social rewards, but also for the enjoyment of manipulating others. Crafting elaborate falsehoods, they create scenarios that serve their interests, often relishing the process as much as the outcome. Their deceptions are calculated, serving both to benefit themselves and to exert control over others. Disregard for social norms. Flouting societal expectations and acting as though they are above the rules that govern others, engaging in behaviors that are considered unacceptable or illegal without concern for repercussions. This behavior stems from a belief that they are not bound by the same standards as everyone else. Lack of accountability. There is a persistent refusal to take responsibility for actions, often accompanied by denial or manipulation to shift blame onto others. Wrongdoing is rarely, if ever, acknowledged, regardless of the situation or evidence presented. Extensive efforts are made to avoid facing the consequences, including creating false narratives or diverting attention away from their own behavior. Emotional detachment. Displaying little to no emotional investment in relationships or situations, making it difficult for others to connect with them on a meaningful level. Their emotions are often shallow or absent, leading to interactions that feel cold and distant. Genuine empathy and emotional engagement are typically lacking. Vindictiveness. Holding grudges and seeking revenge against those who they perceive have wronged them, even for minor slights. This behavior involves deliberate actions to cause harm or discomfort to others, often through calculated and spiteful means. Their vengeful nature makes them relentless in their pursuit of retribution. Use of fear or intimidation. Threats, coercion, and aggressive behavior are frequently employed to control or dominate others, ensuring compliance through fear. Intimidation is strategically used as a means to assert power, leaving others too afraid to resist or challenge the manipulator. This method of control creates an environment where people are kept in line through constant fear of retaliation or harm. Inability to form deep emotional bonds. Sociopaths struggle to experience genuine love, loyalty, or attachment, leading them to view relationships as superficial and transactional. Emotional connections are often shallow, lacking the depth that characterizes typical human relationships. Their interactions are more about utility than genuine affection or commitment. Superficial speech. Communication is often characterized by smooth, charming, and articulate speech that lacks sincerity or depth. Sociopaths may use this superficial charm to manipulate or deceive others, masking their true intentions. The polished nature of their speech can make it difficult to discern their genuine lack of emotional engagement.